Welcome to the New York Professional Spotlight. Host Roman Kirzhner sits down with successful professionals from across New York to uncover the stories, strategies, and expertise behind their achievements.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Today, our guest is Samir Jabbour. He is highly professional in medical field and specifically ophthalmology. He has a lot of experience to share. We will discuss the strengths, lessons, and experience that have helped him to shape his success. Okay, doctor, welcome to the show. First question, can you give us a quick snapshot of your professional practice, of your business today?
Thanks, Roman. Thanks for having me on your podcast. It's really an honor to be here. So my practice has changed significantly over the past year. I recently moved to New York from Montreal, where I was leading an academic practice, well, kind of a hybrid practice between academics and private practice, but substantially academic, where I was teaching, doing research at the University of Montreal and McGill. And I recently joined a private practice in New York on Park Avenue, where I became a partner in a very long established practice of almost 40 years. Joined Dr. Barry Shakin, who has this amazing practice and who has been looking basically for a new partner to kind of join his practice and take on surgical leads and obviously clinical lead for the future.
Yeah, great. I know that there's many talented professionals in your field. Obviously, they're doing great. What sets you apart with your international experience? You have international experience from the America and Europe, I guess. That's
right.
Yeah, what sets you apart? What comes easy? What others will be looking as a challenge?
Absolutely. So I was fortunate enough to have lived in many countries. I was French educated since the age of 3. I actually graduated from high school in France. And at the age of 18, I decided to take on an adventure and go to Canada at the time and to Montreal to basically pursue undergraduate studies. I've always been attracted to the medical field. At that time, I decided to do a trial to see if I really like human sciences, and I did a physiology undergrad at McGill, and it was instantaneous to know that I was really in the right field. This is a passion that I found. I was very interested in neuroscience specifically, and I knew that a medical career would be a good fit for me at that time. And I was lucky enough to be accepted to medical school at McGill. Then I did my residency in ophthalmology at the University of Montreal. So I really got like a very Canadian-based first years of training. And at that time where I had to do a fellowship or a subspecialty training in my field, I just felt that remaining in Canada will not enrich my experiences as much as I would like to. And I wanted to get different experiences from different parts of the world, mainly leaders in the world. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to go to the States. I did a fellowship at Johns Hopkins at the time at the Wilmer Eye Institute for a year. And I wanted to go back to Europe. I wanted to be trained to see how Europeans do things when it comes to my subspecialty. And at that time, I had applied to the Moorfields Eye Hospital, which is associated with UCL in London, UK. And I did another year of my subspecialty, which is cornea. And interestingly enough, I was right enough to see that things are done very differently in Europe, between Europe and North America. And I think that allowed me to get a really like a breadth of experience of how things can be done, an open-mindedness to things, and a curiosity to see like how one subspecialty can differ significantly actually from one country or one continent to the other. So yes, I was lucky enough to basically see different things. Obviously, the challenges of this is that you have to readapt every single time to a new medical system, to a new healthcare system, to a new way of doing things. And at the time, it could be a bit of a challenge, but in hindsight, there's only richness that come out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Your international experience enrich your authority and your expertise. That's for sure. If someone wants to become better, what kind of advice will you give new people, new professionals?
I think as a young student, one of the first questions you ask yourself is, what am I passionate about? I think finding your passion is the first key into leading a successful career. I think it's really hard to be successful in what you do if you don't like what you do. I think it becomes a burden. You need to wake up every single morning feeling excited about what you do. You need to daydream about your job sometimes, where you're like, you know what, I look forward to doing this and that and have these projects. And the reality, if you don't have a passion, it's really hard to do these tasks. So I think that the number one question is when you're a young student trying to find your career is what are you really truly passionate about? I think you also need to find your North Star, saying what is the thing that I like and I enjoy doing and I'm actually good at doing as well. So you can love something you're not great at, but you can also find something that you are great at, but you don't love doing. So you need to find this combination that really makes you like, that will propel you into a great career. And I think the only way to do that when you're young is to be curious and have an open mind. You have to go discover different fields. I remember when I was an undergrad, I was taking, like, for example, classes in philosophy. I was taking classes in social studies of medicine. I was taking classes in music. I just wanted to expand my mind as much as possible to really find what truly the things I enjoy doing. And on the path, I've discovered a lot of interests that are just still passions of mine, but that I didn't make a career out of them. And I knew exactly what kind of career I wanted. Once you find your passion, once you find your North Star, I think you have the right ingredients to propel yourself into a career. And I think this is where grit, passion, and hard work come at play. You really need to find these two together so you can actually differentiate yourself from your peers and to actually like be exceptional in what you do. You need to be exceptional in what you do. Otherwise, you will just blend in into like everyone else. Um, and it's easy to do it when you have these ingredients. That's what I tell students when I was training students in Montreal. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard as long as you have the right ingredients, as long as you're passionate, as long as you want to put in the hard work, things will unfold themselves in a very natural way. And opportunities that you never thought would happen to you would happen to you. Um, Hard work is obviously very important, very, very important. Imagination is very important as well. It's funny to say, but even Einstein said that imagination is actually more important than intelligence. You want to be creative in how you think. You want to think about what would I like to do? What can I how can I expand my field? What is missing in my field? And that's where imagination kicks in terms of like being imaginative and novel in the way that you think about the field. And this is what will make you like really special in what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like your curiosity keeps you on a virtue of each.
You know, they say curiosity killed the cat.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Curiosity can get you in the wrong places, but you should definitely embrace it.
Which brings me to probably unusual question. In today's world, we all live in an AI world, which is
Correct.
changing everything around us. Does it already affect your field? Are you using it for some reason? Is how successful? And from that question, actually, it will be another question about the trust because
Yeah,
it comes together, I
great,
would
great
say.
question. I mean, obviously AI is a fascinating phenomenon that happened and it just like swept us away within like a year or two. Everything has changed around us. Like I remember when I was a resident, ChatGPT arrived, it was just so mind-blowing. I was like, how did we even do things before ChatGPT? And more ChatGPT and all these like AI tools are taking over tasks that we used to do and take so much time doing. I think the secret of technology is that you cannot be someone who resists it. It's just that we don't have technology will evolve and it will be part of our lives. I think the secret is to find a way to integrate it in an ethical and responsible way. Um, the question of trust in AI has become a big problem, especially when I was in academics, for example. Well, it's so easy to have a task and you just plug it into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever AI tool you use or Gemini, and it will basically generate something for you. So remember I told you about imagination? I think AI will kill imagination. And I think we are responsible to kind of keep our imaginative brain working. I think we can use ChatGPT and all these tools to kind of perfect some tasks that we're doing. But I think the generation of or the stem of the ideas should be coming from us, from personally us. And that's what makes it unique. I am a reviewer of a lot of journals and articles. I always get invited to review as an expert to see if journals are publishable. And it takes a second to see which articles have been written by AI. Like it's very easy to detect. They are getting better, um, which is really unfortunate. It really, really is unfortunate. I think using AI, for example, once you have written an article to perfect your grammar, fix syntax, grammatical errors, that's fine. I think this is good. Like, actually, this is helping to have a more well-robust manuscript, but to use it as a primary tool to generate texts and figures and all of that, I think that will eventually we will have to pay the price of that as humankind. So it's a very complicated question. It's a big topic of academia now, that how to balance the use of AI for students. And I think, fortunately, I think the way that we test, the way that we evolve, will have to evolve with this. We cannot be rigid about the old ways of doing things, and we have to find an innovative way to basically test and assess students in the age of AI.
Yeah, I just create my own sentences out what you just described, and
Right.
imagination versus hallucination, because AI can
Yeah,
hallucinate, and
true.
it's obviously it's just a tool. You have to you have to keep certain trust, but do not trust it. If I would
Correct.
if I would be in position of your patient, and I would be sitting in front of you or laying down before the surgery, and last thing before anesthesia kicks in, I would hear, "Hello, Gemini." I would have some problems.
Absolutely. And I mean, I can give you an example from a day-to-day practice, for example. Now there's like a lot of like there's an AI tool called Open Evidence, which is actually fascinating, and it helps me a lot in my practice, not because I'm lazy, but for example, I give you an example. A patient comes in and I want to start a new medication on that patient, and the patient tells me, "Well, you know what? I have this condition. I'm using this medication. Are you sure that this is a safe medication?" And no doctors know all the interactions, just impossible. Or you can say a patient comes in asking about what is the risk of having a stroke on that medication? Like, what is the actual percentage? And with open evidence, it's actually an AI tool that you can put in a medical question. It will screen the medical literature and it will actually give you a synopsis of what has been done. This is fascinating. This is actually improving patient care nowadays. This is a very useful tool to uh, give the best medical advice and medical care for patients. So AI is going to make things better. There's no doubt about it. It's just how we integrate it, and at what extent are we able to allow it to do stuff for us, when we can do most of these things, at least as primary creators.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that we touch on AI, and it's related to any profession, and in
Right.
your profession as well. And let me ask you, what exciting projects do you have for next, let's say, 6, 12 months, if you have any?
So when I was in Montreal, I had a lot of ongoing projects. I was very much involved in academia, which I'm completing now at this stage. I was working with one of the biggest I IEMR, or Electronic Medical Record Registry of the States, called the IRIS Registry. It was a project that I did while I was doing a master's in public health at Harvard, that I started off, and we're looking at basically big data of outcomes of two kind of corneal grafts in the United States, and it was just got accepted for publication. So this is going to be published soon. As I'm drifting back to private practice in New York, I am cutting down my academic work in Montreal. It's not completely out, but as I'm getting more settled here, more less and less I'm doing in Montreal. Um, Knowing myself, I'm someone, as much as I love medical care and surgical care, I am someone who always likes to expand myself. I think medical care and surgical care, they're exciting. Every patient is different. Every patient is a challenge in its own way. But it becomes, in a sense, a bit repetitive at some point. And I'm scared of routine and I'm scared of repetition. Uh, I get bored of it. So I need to find a different outlet, basically, to be involved in the field. And I think I've always had that dream which I never had the chance to do because I was too busy with my academic practice in Montreal, is to be involved more with international organization for ophthalmology care in the world, basically, where we can be involved with cataract surgeries or offering your help for communities that don't have access to healthcare or eye care in an adequate way. So that will be my next project, I think, for the next year.
Absolutely. With your enthusiasm, your experience, and your expertise, New York is the perfect place to be.
That's the best city.
That's the best
Best
city,
city.
that's for sure.
Definitely best city.
Congratulations, doctor, on how things going
Thank you,
with your
Roman.
career. I just want to twist it a little bit on different directions.
Of course.
Many successful professionals in your field doing really well while they're working. But if they stop working and income will slow down or even dry up, but people still wants to keep the same level of lifestyle, and they are looking forward to another sources of income outside of work. Some of them looking to create income in stocks, bonds, crypto. What are your thoughts on creating income outside of work?
I think as a doctor, you're actually well positioned to be innovative in what you do. I know, for example, some colleagues have started some startup companies in healthcare or like tech-related healthcare, where they, for example, created a tool, an EMR tool to help surgeons. I mean, I think as doctors, we are at a position where we have valuable data. We know how day-to-day clinical care goes. We know where the weaknesses are. We know where the strengths are, and we know what are the things we can do to improve workflow, improve patient care. So we are at a perfect position to detect weaknesses and areas of improvement and build basically solutions to that, which can be obviously at the end of the game income generating. And I think this is the reason why a lot of pharmaceutical companies will come to doctors saying, well, you know what, that's another source of income for a lot of doctors, where pharmaceutical companies will use you as an expert, basically, to help them with their products to see how this product works, how can we improve it. So this is like, it goes naturally with the clinical care. I think a lot of doctors, including myself, do consulting for pharma companies, and that can be definitely like a source of income. Some people are more involved, some of them less. I have other people, as I mentioned, they opened up like EMR companies or other related tech companies. And you have the extremes who might be, which is not me, who could be passionate about something unrelated to medicine completely. Maybe they love being restaurants and they want to open a restaurant, or they want to retire and they want to open like a boutique hotel in one of their favorite cities where they want to retire. I mean, there's a lot of creativity that you could do when you're in that position. So yeah, it's definitely something that's doable. I think it takes more time, and yeah, another one that's actually really big that I forgot to mention about, but you can definitely become an entrepreneur in ophthalmology, especially ophthalmology, where you can really buy practices and expand your practices to build basically a business. And I know some ophthalmologists who stop doing medical care after embarking on this care, because now all they do is basically manage the practices, using their expertise of knowing what medical care is. So again, there's a lot of venues that are possible for income generating for doctors, other than medical care per se.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you for your view on this one. If someone would like to connect with you, what's the best way of doing that for them? Can you just provide your information?
Absolutely. So I practice on Park Avenue. Our address is 625 Park Avenue. It's the office of Dr. Barry Shaken. You can find our information. You can either Google my name or Google Barry Shaken on the on Google, and you'll find our phone number to basically call us. And we are very easy in giving medical appointments.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, doctor. Thank you for your time today. And
thank you, Roman.
Wishing you good luck. Wishing good luck to all of us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being on this podcast.
Thanks for listening to the New York Professional Spotlight. If you're a successful New York professional with insights to share, visit nyprofessionalspotlight.com/guest and apply to be featured on the show.